The objective for today: use properties to simplify logarithmic expressions and translate between logarithms in any base. Chances are this one will have to wait for just a little bit, but definitely this one. Here's a review though. What should x be? If you work this one out, it's going to be x equals 6. Log base x of 27 equals 3. What would x be? X to some power 3 equals 27. What number is being raised to the third power? Somebody's saying something, but I cannot hear you. X is 3. Log base 5 of x equals 4. 5 to the fourth power equals x. 625. What would this be? The final answer only. This 3 to some power is 9. What is that particular answer? 2. 7 to some power is 49. That one is 2. 2 to some power is 32. 5. So 2 plus 2 is 4, and then it's over 5. Here are some examples. Here's one basic one already worked out. And express as a single logarithm. Simplify if possible. So I have two logs here. Log base 4 of 2 plus log base 4 of 32. Anytime you have two logs added together and the bases are the same, in this case they are 4, then you can condense that into one logarithm of base 4 and you multiply these two items together. 2 times 32, which would give you a 64. Once you get to this spot, there's no guarantee that it can be simplified further, but if it can, then go ahead and do it. That would be the same as 4 to some power x equals 64, and of course that number is 3. Again, if the bases are the same and it is addition, then you can condense it into one logarithm of the same base, multiply these two numbers together from there and there. That is 64 in this case. The base is 4. 4 to the something power x equals 64. That should be 3. Log base 3 of 3 plus log base 3 of 27. Do you have the same base on each log? Yes. So you can write it as a singular log of base 3. Multiply this times this. It must be in parentheses. 3 times 7 turns out to be 81. 3 to the x power equals 81. And of course that would end up being 4. I'm not working this step out because this is an easy logarithm. We know it's going to come out to be an integer, so I am not including the work of log of 3 to the x power equals log 81, and then x log 3 equals log 81. And then to get x, you have to divide log 81 by log 3, because you should be able to recognize this is going to be an integer exponent answer. So you have the same base in each log, and it's separated by addition, so you can make it log base 4 of 2 times 128. And when you multiply 2 and 28, you come up, or 128 that is, you get 256. 4 to some power x is going to be 256. This is another one you should recognize. 4 to the first is 4. 4 to the second is 16. 4 to the third is 64. 4 to the fourth is 256. So x is going to be 4. Here's an example that's similar to what we already did. Express log base 32. I said that completely wrong. Express log base 2 of 32 minus log base 2 of 4 as a single log. Simplify if possible. So here it is. And again, you're going to have the same base, which is 2, but this time they're connected by subtraction. And if it's the same base and it's subtraction, you are not multiplying, you are dividing those numbers. And the division, which still seems to be a problem with some, if I say 8 divided by 2, I'm talking about 8 divided by 2. There are some who still switch it around. If they hear 8 divided by 2, they do 2 divided by 8. In this case, whatever comes first over here, that's the number that starts first, and you're dividing that number by this one. So 32 divided by 4 is 8, and that turns out to be 2 to some power equals 8, which of course is 3. Just a reminder that just because you get it down to that spot doesn't mean it can be simplified. In other words, it doesn't mean it's going to be an integer exponent for the answer. You could certainly get any kind of answer for that, and if it's a decimal, round it to the second decimal place. We have the same base, and it's subtraction. So we can do log base 3 of 135 divided by 5. We can simplify that to 27. And 3 to some power is 27. What is that something? 3, yeah. And for this one you have the same base. It's subtraction, so log base 2 of 96 divided by 3. Log base 2 of 32. Once you get it down to a single number, you can drop the parentheses. And then 2 to some power equals 32. What is that? 5, yes. You can condense this down to log base 6 of 108 times 2. So log base 6 of 216, that is 6 to some power x equals 216. X should be 3. You can condense this down to one logarithm because you have the same base and it's connected by addition. So log base 2 of 8 times 64. Multiply 8 times 64. Well, 4 64s is going to be, 256? So this should be 512. Now 128 would be the 7th power of 2. So you're going to have 8 is going to be 256. And then 9 is going to be 512. So it would be x equals 9. Log base 4 of 320 divided by 5. And we can do this because the bases are the same and it is subtraction. So 320 divided by 5, I believe, is going to be 64. So log base 64, or not base 64, but log base 4 of 64 is 4 to some power equals 64. What is that power? 3.